Hello there, welcome to this practice, welcome to this tutorial on tabletop, or also called all fours in yoga. It's a posture that we use a lot for different variations where we move through the spine, like cat and cow, or it's a good preparation for plank. And I just want to move through a few different variations and also tell you a bit more about tabletop. Hopefully you find it useful, and thank you very much for subscribing and being on this channel with me, from my heart to yours. And let's get to practice now. So for tabletop, or also called all fours in yoga, you can just very simply come onto your hands and knees. So you're on all fours and in a tabletop position. You want to have your palms underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Quite often we have different ideas of how wide our hips are. So really make sure the knees are not too far out, but they are also not too far in. So you're really feeling nice and spacious. And as you untuck your toes now, have a look that your feet are in line with your knees. Again, here it can sometimes happen that they pop in or out. So toes in line with the knees. So the shin, the knee and the heel are in one line. And as we now checked in with the legs, that's all great. We come to the hands. Again, the hands are under the shoulders, elbows, wrists in one line. And the fingers, they are spreading wide. So the pinky finger is really far away from the thumb. And now see if you can press your 10 fingertips down to the mat for a moment. And then let go and drop the weight into your wrists. And then do that again, clawing into the fingertips, and let go. And it is more energizing for the body, or you need more strength to actually keep that clawing action rather than just dropping the weight into the wrists. But for our wrist health, it's so important to claw the fingers down so you can take the weight off the wrists. Then with your elbows, there is quite a lot of us who have hypermobility, which means that your elbows, they're extending quite a lot past the normal range. What I would suggest you to do, you bend your elbows and have a look that the bony bit of the elbows is pointing out. And this is hands and knees. So you're in a tabletop already. And then notice what is happening with your back. Is your back hanging through? Is your back rather rounding? And imagine creating one line from your tailbone all the way forward into the crown of your head. And obviously it's hard to judge if you're long, if you're in one line, but you just roughly want to feel that. So you're having the head downward, or you're facing down, and the head in line with your last vertebra, with your spine. Lightly tuck your tailbone under so your low back can flatten out as well. And by that point, maybe your wrists are already very tired, so make sure you shake them out at any point you need to, and then coming back into tabletop. And I think we now have our foundation, so we're going to move through our cat and cow, a very traditional sequence to do in yoga. So drop the belly down, lift your chest and your gaze, and you inhale here. And for the exhale, tuck your tailbone under, ripple through the spine, tuck your chin to your chest, and lightly push the mat away with hands and feet. Let's take 2 more. Drop the belly, lift your chest and your gaze, and exhale, round your back. So you notice for the last round, tabletop has a lot for our spine. So we do a lot of movement that is really dedicated for the spine, but it's great to strengthen the wrists. And it's just a nice way to open up the body. Come back into your neutral spine, meaning that your back is nice and long. And then look past the right shoulder and tilt your hip over to that side as well. And then inhale, come back through to center. And then look past the left shoulder. Lightly tilt the hip to that side. Let's take 1 more round. So another movement for the side body. Inhale all the way back. And then come back into a neutral tabletop. And of course, there is so much more we could do in tabletop, or I could talk more about different alignments. It should just feel nice on the body. Make sure your shoulders are away from the ears. And yeah, whenever you practice tabletop, just have a look that you take the weight off your wrists. Great, well done. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to practice with you on other videos.